look at that, 199. This one works out to be 117, okay? So we've got different numbers of M&Ms, okay? So, let's pick on, is it Casey or Cassie? I never remember. Casey. How would you figure out the percents?
You type in
Equals.
equals whatever number.
So you can click on this number here,
Divided by
divided by the total. Okay? Do you remember, Ryan, how to make that a percent?
You obviously click on the little square and then you click on the percent, and if you want to do decimals, you do that.
Either 1 or 2 decimals, whatever. Okay? Now, you may say, I like that formula so much, I want to copy it. There's going to be a mistake made, and I'm going to do it on purpose. Because you need to know how to fix it when it happens to you on the test. I'm going to paste it, and it says division by 0. Okay? Now let's look back here. This first formula is correct. I want the 48 divided by the 199. I'm going to go to the second formula. I want the 24. That's correct, but it's divided by nothing, right? Division by 0. So the fact of the matter is, I like the fact that that number changed. I don't like the fact that that number changed. So the formula is half right and half wrong. Okay? This is what Excel, so this is an Excel issue. This refers to relative references and absolute references. Okay, and I'm going to put a $sign through the S for absolute so that that helps you remember absolute references. Okay, relative references change when copied. Okay, absolute don't change. Okay, so as I look at my formula here, I want that first number here, B4, I want that to change. That's what I would call a relative reference. I want that B11 not to change. I want that to stay B10. Okay? So in order to do that, I'm going to use an absolute reference. Okay? If I press F4, okay, if I press the F4 key, that gives you the absolute reference. Now, for those of you who are using a Mac, so we got Hunter, we got Jordan, there'll be more, there's another one. Okay, I think the command is Command T, give that a whirl and see if that works. For those of you who have Macs, does that put $signs in like it did up here on me? I think that's right. Okay, now I'm going to press Enter. Okay, now I'm going to copy this formula down to the others here. And it's going to work correctly. What should that up to? I can do my auto sum, and I can say it adds up to 100%. Okay? So now, I'm going to ask Roberts. Johnson? Where's Johnson? Where's Robert? You're Roberts. Okay. Rock Johnson, can you tell me how to do that again, this time with the peanut?
Yeah, so take 12 divided by the 117, go up 2%.
Nope.
Or we'll enter that.
Don't enter that.
No.
F4.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to F4 that right off the bat because I want that F10 not to change. I want the F3 to change. Okay? F3 in this case is a relative reference. F10 is an absolute reference. Okay? So you need to understand how that works. It's going to be different in every problem you do. So you need to understand when you want absolute reference, when you want relative reference. In this case, we want one of both, one of each. Okay? Now, I can press the percents here. 1, 2, I can copy that down. I can add them up. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. For the peanut, or for the M&M project, I want you to compare 24 to 10. Does that seem the same or different?
Different.
Now, in this case, I'm going to have you guys figure that out for yourself. Does the, let's see, do we have two? These are pretty different. Does 18 and 22 seem relatively similar to you? Okay, so you might say, well, I think the orange are pretty similar, but I think the reds are very dissimilar. Okay, that's what I want you to do on your project. Okay, now, I just want you to just kind of look at it. I don't want you to do any fancy analysis, but say the reds look really different, the oranges look relatively the same. Okay, so look, do that for each color. Save your data, both the polling and the peanut data, because when we do project number 2, you're going to reuse this data that you've already collected, and we're going to analyze it with some more sophisticated techniques. We're actually going to do what's called a chi-square test on this data, which is chapter 24. It's the last chapter in the book. Okay, that's going to be, so you're going to have to do chapter 24 before you do part 2 of this. But I want you to compare your guess to see if those are significantly different or not. Okay?
Can you do again the random between to make random numbers where it says count?
We're going to cover that again in chapter 18. I'm not concerned. You don't need to know that. Well, actually, no, you're right. Here's how you create random numbers. Okay? This is good. That was a good question. Okay, so here's what you really need to do. Let's say you're doing equals rand between. Okay? You're going to do 1 through, you got how many numbers on a phone book page? 200, let's say. Whatever it is. Okay? So maybe, in fact, if you're really going to do true randomization, maybe you want to randomize the page. Apparently my space bar doesn't work. And you're going to randomize within the page. Space bar still doesn't work. Okay? So maybe you've got rand between, say, 1 and you've got 1,000 pages in your thing. Here, I'm going to do this a little bit different. And on the page, you're going to do, maybe within the page, you're going to have 1 through, say, 250. So there's 250 on the page. Okay? So in this case, what you can do, you can copy these down. But one of the things you're going to notice is every time you type, those numbers keep changing.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that annoying? Okay? So here's how you stop that from happening. You're going to highlight your data. You're going to copy. So you've got this Las Vegas light show thing going on. Okay? Then you're going to paste special. If you click on the 1, 2, 3, it's values, or you could say paste, well, yeah, just click on the 1, 2, 3. Okay? What that does, so currently I've got this formula here. These are all just different formulas. Okay, they all say rand between. If I highlight all this data, I copy it, I paste special 1, 2, 3. Now that 348 is really 348. It's not a formula anymore. So now when I type, the numbers don't keep changing. Okay? So when you're doing your phone book randomization, you should do this sort of a thing. Okay? Now, another thing to do is, let's say you're doing it by your city. Okay, so you're doing Provo, Orem, Salt Lake, you're doing Santa Quinn. Do all the cities that you think you might go to a store. So maybe you'll assign Provo's number 1, Orem's 2, Salt Lake's 3, Santa Quinn's 4, or whatever. So you number your cities. This is what's called a sampling frame. Okay? So you number all your cities. Let's say you've got 7 cities, and then you can do a rand between 1 through 7. Okay? And you want to randomly pick your city. In this case, I picked 3 that happens to be Salt Lake. So you're going to randomly pick Salt Lake City. Now, what are the stores within Salt Lake City? You've got Target, you've got Walmart, you've got Smith's, you've got Fresh Market. Okay, you'll number those 1 through 4, let's say. You're going to have a bunch of those. So we randomly picked Salt Lake, that's my city. Now we're going to pick randomly, because this just changed again, you notice that was a 3, now it's a 2. Now we got Walmart. And then once you get to Walmart, you pick, how many M&Ms are you going to have on the shelf? And between, say there's 20 bags on the shelf. you're gonna pick the 17th bag, so that you at least get some sort of randomization. So I want you to describe how you're picking your M&Ms. You're not just walking in and picking up the first thing, okay? You're actually getting a true random bag. You're picking up the 17th bag of the plain, you're picking up the 3rd bag of the peanut, whatever. Okay?
For the project, are we showing all this information, what we randomized, or are we just explaining the
I want you to
process?
give me the summary for what you did, you know. I just like a summary. You don't have to go through the whole thing, but I'd like a summary. We randomly picked Salt Lake, we randomly picked Walmart, we randomly picked the 17th bag or whatever. Okay? Are you changing? Okay? So, like this one keeps changing, right? So these two keep changing. So you're gonna highlight them, you're gonna say copy. Then you're gonna right click again, and you're gonna click on the paste special 1, 2, 3. Then that's the values. Now they're up in the okay? Oh, we didn't even get through the 10 today. We need to start graphing it. Okay, so let's say, let's go here, okay? We talked about the different types. You've got these types of colors in this case. Now, what kind of graph, so we've got the frequency table here, we've got the relative frequency table here, okay? So this is something you should show. What type of graph do you think would best represent this data?
Pie chart.
Pie chart, are there any other possibilities?
We go to board graph.
A bar graph?
Bar graph might work. Now, okay, so pretty much bar and pie are often interchangeable. Okay, in this case, you're counting everything within the bag. So the pie needs to be parts of the whole. Okay, so since you've counted all the pieces in the bag and it adds up to 100%, a pie graph would be a good choice. A bar graph could also be a good choice, and we'll talk about one more situation where you might want to choose a bar instead of a pie. But in this case, a pie would be good. So here's how you do it. You're going to highlight your data, include, now do you want to do the counts or do you want to do the relative frequency? I'll show you both. I'll show you both of those, okay? If I were to do the counts, I'm going to go to Insert. By the way, this version of Excel is different than the version of Excel downstairs. This is more similar to what you're going to see in the computer lab, in the testing center, okay? You're going to go to pie chart, okay? Now, you may think that 3D graph looks cool. Never use 3D. Okay? Ever. Unless you want a bad grade. Okay? And the reason why is because it distorts your data. Now, I will grant you that that's a pretty cool looking pie graph. It's very artistic. Now, the funny thing is it says the orange is the blue. I'll show you how to change that in a second if you want. Okay? Now, you're going to use a 2D pie graph. Okay? Now, this might be the plain M&Ms. Or peanut butter. You've got to pick something different. Peanut butter M&Ms. And hopefully you'll get a keyboard that has a space bar. Okay? Now, let's say you want to change the blue to, well, let's change, yeah, we're going to change the red to actually be red, because I don't even have it red. If you click on the blue, you can go over here. You can click on, okay, so click, I've got the blue and click. The fill, I'm going to change, instead of being blue, I want that to be red. I want it to match, okay? This is what color?
Brown.
The green should be brown. So we're going to go to fill. We can change this one to brown, which is, that's pretty close. Okay? So you can actually change these the way you want. Okay? And the nice thing about a pie graph is you have a nice legend here. Now, if I wanted to do the percents, I can hold down this, and hold the control key down, or the command key if you have a Mac. And I'm going to highlight this second column here. You'll notice when I do my pie chart, but it's going to look the same. I've changed the colors. But basically, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference. Now, if you want to, you can add some data labels, we can talk about that. Finally, the last thing I wanted to show you is, I could also insert a bar graph to bar. If I like that graph better, I could do that as well, okay? You could also do insert a horizontal bar graph. Sometimes that's a little nicer because this one isn't the case. Sometimes when you do the vertical bar graph, it cuts off these and they're a little bit hard to read, so sometimes the horizontal is a little bit easier to read. The axis. Finally, let me just ask you one question. Let's say I have state and I have tax rate. So I got Utah, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, etc. This is 6.5, 3.5, 4.5, and whatever. Would it be a good idea in this case to use a pie graph? No, why not? What's that?
That's not the sum.
It's not part of the whole. We're just comparing tax rates. So it would be more appropriate to do, say, a bar graph in this case, even though these are percentages. And in fact, you can't even tell that these are percentages. Now, really quickly, I know we're out of time. You probably can't tell what these numbers represent, right? Yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on this little plus sign, and you're going to add axis titles. Okay. What should this axis title be?
Tax rate.
Tax rate as a percent. Okay. What should this title be? Western states. Something like that. Hopefully your space bar works. And maybe this is sales tax or something like that. Okay. So that's a very brief. Sorry we got interrupted and we took a long time. Thursday, we're going to meet downstairs first. We're going to finish chapters 10 and 11 on Thursday. We'll come back up here at 11. We'll take our quiz at 11 o'clock.